Hey guys, Youngblood with you, and in this video I wanted to follow up on my last video, which was kind of about a getting to know organizations or a new player's guide perspective. But specifically here, what I want to talk about is what organizations need in order to be able to be successful in this game, most likely coming with the long anticipated Organization 2.0 system that has been teased for a long time but has not come to fruition yet. As a large organization leader in PXP, there's countless challenges that come to mind with getting people to play together. And that may be a little bit worse for me and my group specifically because a large number of the population join off of my videos and not from in-game play. But I think the experiences are transferable regardless of why people join an organization, and we have some very basic needs that CIG needs to be able to grant in order for organizations to pull people together. There's over 1 million Star Citizen accounts, but they're not all playing, and in a game where avoiding bugs is kind of an art, and conquering and really being successful is dependent on being with friends, empowering players to get together can be critical. So there are some needs that orgs have, and honestly, I really hope that CIG is going to watch this one because there are some baseline things that organizations need in order to be successful. First off is really continuing to develop the relationship between Spectrum and in the game. Because at a minimum, the main menu currently has a friends list and a party list if you happen to be in a party. But if you want to encourage your entire organization to engage together, you need another drop-down menu or a box that would show everyone from your organization, or even just those that are online currently, so you can invite them into the party. I know some people have many organizations that they've joined. So even saying that we're going to just show you your primary org members is another good step. That's kind of a half step, but it's good enough to at least get things going. As an org leader, I've got about 1,700 members in my organization, but I haven't seen a fraction of those members. And if they are active, I sure as heck want the ability to engage with them and pull them into parties if I have something going on. Beyond that is the ability to communicate with my organization members. I and other org leaders that I've polled have stated that we need to be able to do an email blast that is set to opt out. The reasoning there is that if a new member has to go and toggle a setting, it's going to be ignored. But if they end up getting an email and they don't like that, they can just spam it or junk it or go into settings to prevent further comms. But most are going to want to know how to connect with the people that are in their new group, especially in the state of the game where provided comms from CIG are kind of a little bit lacking. The last thing that I think falls into the need category is clan tags in the game, or at a minimum, a shared affiliation indication on your HUD that if you see someone in the verse that you have some self-awareness that they are in your organization and you're able to reach out and try to bring them into your party, and you can start to build a relationship from there. Even outside of just looking at engaging new members, it would be helpful for when you're running operations, and party tags are not always. Beyond those few items that I think are kind of core necessities to empower organizations to do what they should be empowered to do, there's a bunch of items that I think are nice to haves. And these are shared by other org leaders that I've chatted with. The first of which is in line with what I've already mentioned, the lacking in-game comms options, but specifically having awareness of the landscape of the technology that players are using and reaching out to, the Discords, maybe the Guildeds of the world, and work on some level of integration that would allow an invite to a server to be sent automatically once someone joins the group. That would allow players to get brought into communities and start playing with people they intend to. Now, I fully realize that may be a tough pill for CIG to swallow, having to rely on third parties to do what you hope to do in-game, but in all reality, the game isn't going to pull people out of external comms unless there's a real good value prop to do so. So I think it's something that needs to at least be considered. The next would be able to ping or message the entirety of your organization on Spectrum if you had the appropriate role level, which could be configured, basically allowing for message blasts mirroring Discords at everyone messages. Considering that not many people are using Spectrum, it's not a real need, but if the direction is indeed to support third-party connections, then doing something similarly internally is going to be important. One thing that I would personally love to have is a calendar, either on the org page or in the spectrum on your org chat, but an ability to schedule events that anyone that has joined is able to see when operations are taking place, along with a dossier that would provide details on where to be, what to have, and when to be there. It would go a really long way in being able to engage your population to get them to participate with prior knowledge or at least jump in on the things that they're interested in doing. A lot of the desired options really come in the form of easily engaging your population and having an ability to be at work or away from your PC with your family or on a vacation or whatever, and be able to chat with people in the game from a browser spectrum would allow you to engage your members or provide direction or assistance when you're needed. Speaking of that, if you look from a recruiting perspective and you're playing with a random in the verse, you should be able to do an easy one-click friend request versus having to going into the server list, find the person that you're playing with, and having to flow to all the platforms. The last item that I would suggest implementing would really be about intel on your org in general. How active are your members? Put it on a dashboard, right? If you look at the roster, when was the last time they logged in? When are your members active? So you know when you can schedule things. Having that data about your player base is critical in making good decisions about when you host events and could help you target leaders that can help support operations during times that your members are most active, or identify that your members are active at a time that you're not and you can shift things around. Lastly, there is a consistent message that leaders would like to know about the collective assets an organization has, what ships their members have, even if not by member or associated to their name. But especially for small orgs, if you're making a ship buying decision, if you're able to identify gaps in the fleet that your organization has, you could easily identify how you buy, how you melt, how you upgrade your ships with the goal of supporting your organization in a better manner. Overall, there's a lot that's really lacking in the current state of organization management, and it is something that I've been very involved with for the last 9 years or so. And I think the time is very close to where Org 2.0 isn't something that can be continued to be discussed, and it needs to be put into place to give what I consider to be the backbone of the game, which is engaged players that can play together, the tools to be able to do just that. So with that, we're at the end. If you have items on your own personal wish list, put them in the comments. Otherwise, stay tuned for more content coming your way soon. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and take care.